Make sure you never miss another upload by hitting that subscribe button, hitting the little bell to enable notifications, hitting the check mark, save, and remember if you enjoyed the video to quickly leave a like.
War. War never changes. The truth is,
In this world, you are kept safe. Vault 66 protects us from radiation, disaster, and much worse. Wastelanders now roam the land, doing as they please without laws or rules. Even worse, robotic humans known as synths weave their way through society. And worse, mutants, monsters, and dangerous beasts seek to destroy us all. Luckily, some are very special. They will survive long enough to endure the fallout and help rebuild our world. Welcome to Fallout Origins.
All of these spotlights making shadows over your face, and through these long nights, I've been longing for that embrace. On my mind to get you in time. I wonder if you know your body's like a bomb, taking all the love, can't turn back time. If I could turn the glass, cause turning back your hands, wind it up this love, can't turn back time, can't turn back time.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? I really hope it's on. Stupid Wasteland. I never know if anything works here. I could just find it in the ground and it could just be completely broken. I think it's on. I think it's working. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. I really hope you can hear me. Yeah. Hello. It's Michael, the time traveler. And I come bearing news from, well, I guess the past. Sort of. Originally, you sent me out here to fix what happened, or more or less prevent what could happen that would ruin humanity's chance of ever getting back on its feet, per se. And say that kind of ironically. And I have news. I have updates for that mission. Oh, yeah, that's one of the things. Occasionally, I just disappear, which is not a great thing to happen when I'm trying to infiltrate groups of people. Well, anyways, I've made contact with a few different important historical characters. Richie being one of them. I made contact with Richie and Austin. I haven't seen Austin though. He left and he's not come back for quite some time now. I fear the worst. It could be that I ended up in another timeline. I'm not completely sure. But I have faith that things will right themselves. Or maybe that's what exactly was supposed to happen. Maybe we're wrong about that history. I'm not sure. I've also made contact with the synth silo. And, well, I'll explain that in just a moment here. Let me zoom out so you can get a full glimpse of what's going on here. I've also, I've made contact with the, intellect. I guess you could call it that. Merv. I made contact with Merv. His research seems to be coming along quite nicely. I'm honestly surprised somehow he's the one who somehow fixes some of our major resource issues. His chicken discovery makes zero sense, realistically. Biologically makes no sense whatsoever, but he's somehow managed to genetically modify chickens so that they can lay specifically important resources such as gunpowder, coal, iron, even gold, diamonds, everything and anything we could possibly think of. It seems that chickens can be genetically modified to lay everything. That old Mother Goose tail? Yeah, the golden goose? Well, it's not really a goose, but it exists. It's a chicken. And it lays gold. And that's great, because then there's no such thing as scarcity for certain resources. Which means maybe we can finally form that perfect utopia that humanity has always wanted. Who else have I made contact with? There's others that I've been needing to contact with. There's a few vault dwellers that I've met along the way as well. And, well, they've not really posed any threats. However, the death of the Overseer was, well, unforeseen. Almost. Now, things you might be wondering. Well, this body is becoming an issue. The biological body isn't meant for time travel, just as we had hypothesized. Professor, Doctor, it's not great. You remember that discovery I made? I spent hours and hours and hours, days, weeks, months, years toiling over our research, and I discovered the possibility of a disease called time warp. Well, unfortunately, I think it's true, and I begin to suffer from it as we speak. I don't know exactly what had happened or what transpired. I was just doing my normal daily business, taking care of my activities, making weaponry to protect ourselves from the irradiated. And suddenly I passed out. Next thing I know, I wake up in the synth's house with Richie. And, well, it appears my arm was torn off, which is currently why I have this replacement. I guess when they ripped my arm off, my spinal cord also suffered some major damages. I'll give you a quick shot of that. Along with my chest and my pelvis area and my lungs, when my lungs collapsed. Fortunately, the synth knew exactly what to do when he replaced one of my lungs with a rebreather, which is perfect. Or, it's... Now they can really call me the Iron Lung. It used to be a joke nickname because of my bad habits, but you know, I guess what goes around comes around. And unfortunately, I fear my time for this world may not be as long as I had hoped for. I have to, unfortunately, accelerate our plans, and maybe I have to go to the most drastic of solutions. I know he's your friend, Professor, but he does pose a threat to the entire world. And if we ever want to fix what has been wronged in the Wasteland, then I fear the worst. I honestly do believe that I have to kill him. I don't want to. I don't want to hurt Richie. He's been good to me. He's really taken care of me. And especially through my incidents. How do I describe it? Unfortunately, I think time warp has another effect on the human body. It doesn't just erase tissue. It diminishes it. It melts it. And one of those tissues is my brain. And it's not been doing too well. I should show you what's going on here in the first person view. Oh, I heard something. Always have to be on the lookout. This timeline for the Wasteland is far more dangerous than we had expected when I originally came back. But with enough resources, I honestly believe I can reindustrialize the entire world. We can bring it back to its former glory. And with the creation of chickens that, you know, create all resources, I honestly think we can rebuild the economies of the world. I'll give you an example. See, here we got chickens that lay wood. It's bizarre, and it looks like their heads have been genetically modified as well, but it works, and it just does. I don't understand it, but as you can see, we have logs. It makes no sense, I promise you. But old Murphy figured it out. Guess all those books he's been reading really did help out in the end. We also have these coal chickens that lay coal, even, which is great because we need lots of gunpowder to fight off the hordes of irradiated. It's also nice not being one of the last few left on Earth. You know, as much as I loved being your apprentice, Professor, being one of the last 50 people alive. At least what we understood for those last 50 people alive. It wasn't great. Unfortunately, the chickens are very loud, so I'll move away from them so you can hear me. But yes, unfortunately, I think I said unfortunately a lot in this message. I apologize, Professor. But my brain, it's deteriorating at a rapid pace. I have already developed 3 other personalities. I lied to Richie, of course, that I made it all up. I can't have him worrying about my own brain when he has his own duties he needs to fulfill. And yes, I know, if he can't fulfill them, Professor, then I'll do what I have to do. Unfortunately, I think I need to leave this land, Jericho, to find a new place to live. Richie, unfortunately, I had to come clean to him, and he didn't take it too well. I told him he was the hero the world needed, and let's just say he wasn't, I wouldn't say excited about it. He was terrified, confused, and a little blown back. But I think with enough time and enough pressure, he'll truly become the hero we need, and maybe this time he won't make the same mistakes as he did last time. I've warned him. He will make or break the Wasteland as far as we understand it. And I hope things are going well back there as well. I hope he'll be taking care of the apricot farm and old Tom. That little doggo Tom. It's the last one left. Make sure you take care of him. Feed him lots. Treat him well. Well, Professor, my journey is just beginning, but I hope I can pull this off. Soon enough. Soon enough. Over and out.
When the time's right, I light up and ride off in sunsets and Corvettes, like I'm the plug and you don't know. But why? I do these things and I don't know. Just trying to go and prove myself to be one of the best I can.